Hi guys, this is Irv and welcome to the very first edition of the 5-minute Bible study. Today we're looking at the book of James, chapter 1, verses 1 through 18, I think. We'll try to get that far. So what do we know about James? We know that he was the Lord's brother. We know that it's strongly implied in the Gospels that his family didn't believe in him as the Son of God. The brothers even mock him one time, saying, "Why don't you go to Passover and reveal yourself to the world so that all will know that you're the Son of God?" And if you read the text, it's not this beautiful, loving brotherhood. They're mocking him. So he writes this letter, the book of James. And so he's saved, calls himself a slave of God or a bondservant of God, which for a quick brush up from the Old Testament, that was a term used by a servant that loved his master so much that he willingly put himself in, is the word indentured, for life to that master. And there was some rituals that went along with that, with I think an owl through the ear. But let's see, and he calls himself a bondservant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ. We don't need to talk too much about that, but look at that reference, every reference from Paul in his letters to God, and the Trinity will always show up in some form of this, similar to this. He says he's writing to the 12 tribes, which means the focus of his letters are the Jewish believers. I think those are the first to receive the gospel in the book of Acts at Pentecost, and obviously the Democrat, obviously the Gentiles quickly became part of that, because we see the rift between the two. The Jews had a hard time giving up some of their the religious piece of them to define them. I think they had a hard time giving up the religious piece that they thought brought them salvation. But I think they got through that pretty well, because Jesus Christ, had, his gospel in itself was, you're saved now. But that religious piece of, they wanted to keep that, and I think, why not? And ended up they did. And Paul just kept warning them, you can do this, stay away from, meat, from idols and sexual immorality, but don't think you're saved by that. Okay, so now he goes to the next little section. He goes on that he says to count it all joy when we encounter trials or troubles, and we don't need to go too deep into this, but there's a difference between a trial and a temptation. Right? A trial is, you got a flat on the way to work. I just had a brain tumor. There can be any place in that spectrum. A temptation is, from our sinful nature, from Satan, from this world that is just to pull us from God and to put ourselves at the center of whatever it is. So, good or bad, putting ourselves at the center of that is bad. So Satan might tempt you to do, I think I might be done. Well, 5 minutes are up, pal. Lesson learned. Stop talking.